River, an Armello story. Strong pack. 10 days passed when River, the head ranger of the Vale, was called by the Den Mother. Silently River walked to the great hall, and an iron maiden immediately recognized her and let her pass. "The Den Mother awaits you in the throne hall." The grey-brown wolf nodded as answer, then proceeded to walk inside, as her amber eyes darkened with foreboding. Since the funeral, she hadn't received any message from Sky, while rumors had begun to spread through the capital. People were talking about the return of the rot, and while most of the wolves consider it as a fairy tale, others started to speculate that the death of the chief and the banishment of the eldest prince were connected. Although the mountains remained quiet and cold, as the winter kept blowing, fear began to spread even in the hearts of the rangers. Freya Snowstrider was waiting for River, sitting on the throne of bones, her expression illegible. Her green eyes were like gems. She let River come closer and kneel before her, while the grey-brown wolf noticed the absence of Thane, the younger prince, and the Prince of Blades. "Stand up, River. No time for ceremonies. I call you for an important task." The Den Mother moved her paw in the air, and immediately the Iron Maidens closed the door, leaving the two of them alone. River's senses were immediately alerted as a shiver ran down her spine, while Freya Snowstrider took a long and deep breath. "As you know, 10 days ago I sent your sister Sky to search for that cultist. She immediately informed us of her arrival at Esterdale, and the start of the investigation regarding the cult of the worm you discovered. 4 days ago we received a new message from her, telling us that the occultist was escaping to Duncastle, and she needed help from the clan. To help her, my son Thane offered to join her, and I sent him to Esterdale. Unfortunately, 2 days ago, I received a message from my son." While talking, Freya revealed 3 letters. One had the broken king's seal in purple and gold sealing wax, but she took out a different one. "Thane's message informed me that Sky's letter was a fake one, and then he discovered that the ranger was killed at Esterdale, and her stuff were about to be sold on the black market." The cold tone of the Den Mother didn't stop the shock in River's eyes from coming. The wolf lowered her head, while the pain started to grow in her guts. Now, more than ever, a voice in her head screamed, "I should be the one who follows the rot." "I'm sorry for your loss." For the first time in days, Freya's voice sounded a bit softer, and River found in that phrase the strength she needed to raise again the head and look the Den Mother in the eyes. Her voice did not crack or betray any suffering. "What about that other letter, my liege? Is that the king's seal?" Snowstrider took another deep breath. "Indeed it is. The letter from the king declares that my son, Thane Greyman, is wanted for the disappearance of one member of the king entourage in South Bank. River's eyes widened a little, while Freya's green eyes darkened a bit. South Bank, my lady. Probably it happened when my son went after that damned occultist. The agents of the cult sent us a trap as soon as they found out about Sky. Even worse, I'm afraid all this can be a part of the king's plan to destroy our clan. The grey-brown wolf kept quiet, but she found absurd that the king wanted to eliminate an entire clan. There were wolves inside and outside the border of the territories, and wiping all of them would have surely put in alarm the rest of the clans. River, I command you to set off for South Bank and find my son Thane. He must come back to Stonebluff before things get even worse. Yes, my lady. I will depart immediately. I will immediately inform South Bank Chief about the arrival of the King's Guards for the inquiry against Thane. Freya's paws clenched, but before the ranger could leave, then Mother spoke again. One last thing, River. Your mission is a secret. As a wanted criminal, Thane will be persecuted by the King's Guards. And if the King finds out that the Wolf clan protects my son, he will surely use this as an excuse to march with his army towards us. And if other clans will ally with him, we will not stand a chance. River clenched her paws and nodded at the silver wolf. You may go. Strong pack. For the first time the clan's motto sounded untrue in River's ears. Strong pack, my liege. River went back to her den, with an unbearable pain aching in her guts. But she was incapable to stop and rest, clenching her teeth and trying not to let go an howl of sorrow for Sky. She looked at her bow, checking if the strings was still in good condition, and then changed it carefully and patiently. Every single arrowhead was sharpened and the fletching was fine. Then she took a look at her leather armor and gave a long glance at the star-shaped brooch that was securing the dark blue mantle. The star over the mountain, a symbol of the clan and a recognition of her master skills. All worthless now. Suddenly someone knocked at the door. It was her old teacher Sipka, an old dark brown wolf with signs of hard fight on his snout and on his left ear. That presence added pain on River. Master. Sorry for the intrusion, River. May I come in? The young wolf stepped aside and let the old wolf come in. He carefully removed his mantle from the shoulders and gave a look inside the plain eyes of his pupil, noticing immediately her weapon. A faint smile lighted up a bit the mournful wolf. May I? Of course, master. Sipka sat on River's bed and calmly took her bow and checked the weapon. The string is excellent, but you can still deal with the cold tension. Sipka quickly removed and stringed back the cord, and River immediately noticed the stronger pull. The master gave back the longbow to her pupil, and the ranger tried the new cord. She felt the need to use more strength to pull the cord at its maximum, and when she released it, was like cutting the air itself. Don't be afraid to dare with the tension. You'll need more strength, but your arrows will go much further. Thank you, master. May I ask you what happened, River? how Thunder was killed and why Fang disappeared? The dark brown wolf raised its head to the ranger, and the female wolf was about to answer, but then she stopped and clenched again her teeth. "I'm sorry, master. I can't tell you anything." "Is it something that concerned the absence of Sky at the funeral?" The ranger nodded one time and clenched her paw. The news of her sister's death was haunting her thoughts. "I see. It seems you're about to leave. Did the den mother ask you to search for her?" "Yes, master." "You want to go with the dog?" "I will earn time if I leave in the next few hours. The wind will be much weaker and the sky will be clear." "These moonless nights will surely protect you. Do you have money for your journey?" "Yes, master." Sipka nodded, smiling, despite his eyes were still gloomy. For a brief moment, River had the sensation that her master knew something, but he stood up by her bed and put one of his paws on the ranger's shoulder. "I hope you will find peace when you find her." River gained control over her emotion, trying not to burst into tears, strongly nodding at her master and answered back with deep voice, "I hope that too." Outside of the house, suddenly, the wind started to howl and slammed for a few seconds against River house door, while the two wolves inside stayed silent for a brief moment. The female clenched her paws while her muscles stayed still. Only the flickering of her amber eyes betrayed a deep restlessness. Finally, Sipka let go River's shoulder with a guilty glance. "I am sorry. I selfishly came here seeking for answers, but it seems that I troubled you a lot." "Master Sipka." "Here in Stone Bluffs, news are confused and mixed with anxiety and fright. Our king has changed. Leaks says that he is becoming every day more violent and incomprehensible in his decisions. Even the Rabbit clan, usually very close to him, is incapable of predict his movements. And now voices talk about the return of the Rot in Armello." "Do you believe in those voices, master?" "I do, River. But this must not concern you. You must find Sky and bring her back as soon as possible." "I will, master." "I'll inform the gods to make sure they open the gate in a couple of hours." "Thank you, master." "Remember, River, strong pack." And with that, Master Sipka disappeared in the night. For a few seconds, River stood in front of the closed door, almost as she was waiting for something or someone. But nothing really happened. The only thing she could hear was the cold wind of the other side of the door. Silently, she took away the brooch from her armor and put aside her cloak. She gazed at the star over the mountain for a long time. Then she took her little leather bag and poured the ashes of Thunder Greyman in a bowl. She mixed it with water until the lye was ready. With that, she carefully polished the brooch until the metal shone again, like the first day she received it.